The next question, which Cleveland general manager will be employed by their current team for longer? So who will last
very
longer?
difficult.
This
was super difficult. I ain't even gonna lie, man.
The two choices, Koby Altman and Andrew Berry. Chris, you're up first, and then we'll see how everyone else answered.
Yeah, I said Andrew Berry simply because, and I honestly think they're both going to be here for a significant amount of time, meaning a couple more seasons. But I see a pitfall for Koby Altman very much sooner than Andrew Berry. As in, if the Browns don't do well this year, well, nobody expected them to. He's drafted well as long as the draft picks looks good. He has the 2 first-round picks. He'll be here for at least a couple more years to see that out.
Mm-hmm.
If the Cavs don't win, if they miss out on LeBron, if this roster turns out to be Titanic sinking, Koby Altman's not going to be around much longer. So I think Koby Altman has the pitfall before Andrew Berry does. So that's why I say Koby Altman's going to be the one that could go or will go before Andrew Berry.
Let's see how everyone else voted. A pretty even split here on the who will be employed longer team. Altman, Zach, Ty, Dustin, Jason, and Bull. On Team Berry, Jay Crawford, G. Bush, Earl the Pearl, and myself. Andrew Berry.
Very difficult question. And because I looked at it in a way, I remember when Ty Lue and David Griffin and Mike Brown was here. And like when you get, it's crazy to say this because we just talked about a whole half hour or 2 hours about LeBron coming back and what it means. The problem is when you get LeBron back, it's like your mom with a flashlight looking, she told you to clean your room and she go into the bed and said you didn't hit all this stuff. LeBron brings a certain level of scrutiny. And then when it's done and it's finished,
you get the hangover.
You got to tear it down. Like it's happened multiple times because when you get LeBron, you're all in. And whatever the future is, be damned, you're all in right now today. So even if Koby Altman, you extrapolate that and the Cavs do win a championship, right? Or they have to make moves where they trade Mobley or something, wherever to get the championship. LeBron's not going to be here long term. He may be here 1 year. He may be here 2 years. After that's done, you're in the luxury tax. You don't have picks. So you're going to be tearing it down. And the question is, does Dan Gilbert at that point in time want to go in a different directions? He's shown that he's moved on from people. And maybe Koby Altman has a now cachet where if he does win, maybe he goes and looks for a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow somewhere else. So I would go along the lines with Andrew Berry, but I'm not 1,000% sold on that, Jason.
I don't want to answer this.
Yeah, let's.
We could do an hour on this. I consider
it was a good question.
It was a very good question.
I was actually proud of myself for thinking of this.
I was actually, so Bull texted last night and asked if we could switch and me come on today. And I was actually thinking driving in, I got to do fence riders now.
Yeah,
because so there's a lot of layers to this question. On the Brown side, it's been told pretty directly to me that Andrew Berry is looked at as sort of the golden child to the Haslams. They love him. But at the same time, you got to get this quarterback thing right. Mm-hmm. And how many bites at the apple does he actually get? So, and he's done a nice job. He had a great draft last year. We can definitively say last year's draft was terrific. This year's draft has the potential to be terrific as well. But until they fix quarterback, nothing else matters. And I don't know how long that leash is and how patient they will be with that. On the flip side of that, with the Cavs, Koby's been there a really long time. Koby's been with the organization since 2013, 2012, somewhere in there, a really long time. And Dan is not the same Dan. How many times have I sat here and said this is not the same Dan as prior to his health issues? And he's more patient. He's got a longer leash with a lot of people. And, Koby's name came up with the Dallas job. So it's not even a matter of would the Cavs move on from him. It's a matter of would he take a job elsewhere as well. So that's why there's so much nuance to this question. I picked Koby just because it really came down to quarterback for me. I don't know if they're going to have, I don't believe these quarterbacks are the answer. And I don't know if they're going to give him the opportunity if the season goes off the rails, how can you give him another opportunity when he's the one that burned down your quarterback room? When Barry's the one that burned down your quarterback room in the first place, how can you give him the opportunity then to continue on? So ultimately, that's what it came down to. But I think the Haslam's would have a really, really, really hard time getting rid of Andrew Barry, because I think they really, really like him and respect him. But they did Kevin, and they got rid of him too. They felt the same way about Kevin, and they fired him. So it was a great question, Mike. It was one I would rather not have been on the panel to answer, just because there's too many layers to it, and there's way more than that. But that's good enough for now.
Let me ask you this: if they get LeBron, Cavs get LeBron, and the team falters in the playoffs again, the Harden contract looks awful in the future, and they're kind of handcuffed, hamstrung, you can't do anything. Could you see Dan, I know he's been more patient, could you see Dan moving on from Koby?
Maybe. I don't know. Like, we have to wait and see how this plays out. Because, G, to your point, LeBron, typically things are in a mess when he leaves. He leaves nothing left in the cupboards. But again, this is 41-year-old LeBron. This isn't 2014. This isn't 2018, the Lakers. Like, you know what the expiration date is on this. Like, you got a year, maybe two, and that's probably about it. Yeah, so I don't think no organization is going to uproot all of their philosophies or whatever to fit him. I think those days are over. But, you know, like the Garland trade was a risk from the standpoint of shortening your window there. But I thought it was the right move. Said before, Koby talked for years about we got a long runway to win. We got to get the plane off the ground. The plane wasn't off the ground yet. So they finally got the plane off the ground, making the conference finals. But they're backing themselves into a corner a little bit with some of these pieces and some of these moves. If you bring in a 41-year-old LeBron, an older James Harden, you're narrowing that window. And if it doesn't go well, if it is a catastrophe, yeah, I think anything's on the table at that point. And, you know, losing Mike Gansey to Philly is a big deal. That was significant. He was a big piece of their front office.
Yeah, this is to me, I think it also is a little more convoluted because Andrew Barry has, you know, on paper drafted really well the last 2 years. I also think that to Jason's point, I do think that the Haslams are excited about what Andrew Barry can become and has done in the last 2 draft classes. And I think that they do really think a lot of him in terms of the way he's going about building the roster. The big piece is, you know, if the quarterback hits, and I mean, you hit on a 5th round quarterback, that means you done got the biggest lottery ticket, and he can write his own check if he want to. But there's a lot of different things that need to transpire between now and whatever these decisions. So I do think it's very close.
Yeah, that one was close. Let's get to our next one. I should have worded this question better because I think there's a little technicality, a way to wiggle out of it. The question was, will Jared Allen be on the Cleveland Cavaliers this upcoming season? I should have said to start the season because I think some people answered with he'll start on the year, then get traded. Should have worded it better. But this ended up being a dead even split. Jason, Tyvis, G, Dustin, and Jay said, yes, he will be on the Cavs. Chris, you answered on the no side with me, Earl, Bull, Zach. Dead even split.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it depends on, is LeBron James a Cavalier or not? If he is, I could see them starting the year at least with Jared Allen and seeing what they need. If he's not, I think Jared is the one expendable piece at this point, and you see what you can get. Because if LeBron doesn't come, you need a wing because you don't have any right now. So that's other than Jalen Tyson. So I think Jared Allen's going to go for a wing.
Yes. He's going to be on the squad. And the reason I think he's going to be on the team is because Jared Allen masks a lot of deficiencies that LeBron has. Jason is right. He's 41 years old. He ain't going to be playing no defense 82 games, 80-something games a year.
8 games. He ain't playing defense 8 games.
And his man going to get past him and look at you. Yeah. And be like, why did you not block this shot? You were supposed to be guarding my man and your man. You didn't know? So
and his man.
So they need both of them dudes. I think Jared Allen's on the squad.
Yeah, I think he ends up getting traded because they need wing help, and I just want to make this clear. I don't want to trade Jared Allen because I don't like Jared Allen. I'm not saying he's not good. I just think he's their best trade piece to get back what they need to make a more well-rounded championship caliber roster. Last one. No player on the Guardians has more than 11 home runs so far this season. But will anyone finish with more than 20, so 21 or more? Chris, you said yes. and so did your two cohorts on the panel today.
Yeah.
Jason, Tyvis,
Look at
G,
everyone being
Zach, Earl,
optimistic.
Chris,
Yeah,
Bull
locked
all
in.
said yes. I said no. Jay didn't answer, so I put him on the no side. And Dustin didn't answer, so I put him on the no side with me too.
The auto pick no is
What-
devastating.
What this is Mike got all the answers and saw he was the only one that said no.
Right.
And so he's like, well, I gotta get some company on this
Yeah.
side of the fence. And I see what
Rigged
you're doing.
election
I told you,
again.
man, this is crazy.
Stop
2
the
years in a row.
count. I think, let's see. Angel Martinez has 11. He's hurt, but he certainly could go on a heater when he comes back. Chase DeLauder has 11. Jose Ramirez has 10. I have to think one of those guys is going to go on a heater in the last 60 games and get 10 home runs. 10 home runs is a lot, but it's not astronomical, especially the way that DeLauder's hitting right now. He could have 5 in a week again, and he's right there.
Jason, come on, man. 21 is Minimowski. Come on, guys. Like, somebody got to
That's
get
not a high
21.
bar.
That's not a high bar at all, man. Come on.
How many guys already have 21?
Right now, before the
In the
All-Star break.
majors,
Yeah.
I will
lot.
look that up right now. 4 Guardians have double digits, which means they have 2 with 10, 2 with 11, but 2 of the guys in that category are
I know Caminero
hurt.
and Jordan are already over 20.
10 players.
Yeah.
The 12 players have 21 or more home runs already,
Yeah, come on,
including Schwarber, who has 32, Alvarez, who has 31, Ben Rice has 29, Junior Caminero has 28, and then there's a couple others that have more than 20.
If we had that level of production, we'd be losing our minds. Like, when the last time you've seen somebody with the Guardians / Indians with 20-0 home runs halfway through the season?
We
Jim
saw it in
Thome?
2018 when Jose Ramirez set the pre-All-Star break Cleveland baseball franchise record with 28 dingers
Yeah.
before. So that's the same pace they are on. But, Jason, if someone's going to do it, is it Jose? Is it Chase? Is it Martinez? Who do you think ends up hitting that 21?
I would like to
plateau?
I'd like to say Jose, but with the hamate bone, we talked about before, a lot of guys aren't quite the same when they come back from that injury for the rest of the year. I'll say DeLauder.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chase DeLauder.